Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. Now, what I like to do every once in a while is kind of step back and review what happens. You get kind of overwhelmed in the moment and you forget where you started and you kind of forget what you've built along the way. So I'm going to ask you a few key questions that I want you to think about. How is your dream board coming? Are you adding things to your dream board? Have you been able to take anything off of your dream board? The next thing I want to ask you is this. Are you your own best friend? Or are you your own worst enemy? You're the only person that talks to yourself all day long. Do you say stuff that cheers you on? Or do you say stuff like, boy, I knew I was going to screw that up, or I'm not good at that, or what are you saying when you talk to yourself? Because it makes a big difference. The next thing I want you to look at is, are you moving forward on your goals? Is it working out the way you thought? What do you need help with? What have you been avoiding because you don't want to deal with it? And it's easy when you're doing something different and you're building a new business, so to speak. If you know there's something that you don't like, you can just kind of push it to a back burner and keep on moving forward. Well, sooner or later, you're going to have to address the situation that you don't like, whether it be copy or ads or whatever the situation is. Have you started building your teams? Have you moved that over into your personal life? In other words, do you have somebody that mows your grass? Do you have somebody that shovels your sidewalk? Do you have somebody that takes care of cleaning your house? Maybe a chef that cooks your meals. I know these seem like stupid things. Who would spend money like that? Well, somebody that's building $1 million a year income, you're going to make some changes. And there are going to be changes so you can free up your time to build your business and focus on what you need to focus on. Now, with all that being said, the reason I throw these review episodes in is because there's key points here that I don't want you to forget about. As we moved forward and we looked into how you spend your money and your budget, and we touched on a lot of that stuff, and making sure you don't expand your lifestyle as your income goes up. Well, I don't want you to forget the key points that I still want you to be looking at your dream board, and maybe you've been able to take a few things off of it, or maybe that hasn't happened yet. But I always want you to be looking for people to work on your team. What you have to realize and always remember is this. You are the magic to your business. Everybody else on your team can be replaced. But you're the guy that had the idea for whatever product you're selling. You're the magic that makes it happen. So you're the one that we want to protect you the most. In other words, I don't want life getting in the way. I don't want you to be bummed out about something for, a week when it doesn't need to be that way. We can go out and get help, get somebody to get you through whatever you're struggling with. These are just things I wanted to take the time, and I wanted to make sure that we step back a little bit and review some of this stuff so that even though I covered it quite a few episodes ago, it's still fresh in your mind. What I want to leave you with is this. There's one last thing, and as life has happened to you here over the last couple of weeks, and you've got annoyed by an issue or got upset about something, are you handling it differently? Is the amount of time that you're upset, is it shortening because you're learning how to handle different problems and you're learning how to deal with stuff that used to just ruin a whole day? Now, isn't that big a deal because you're moving on to the bigger picture? Well, this is all stuff I just wanted you to think about. That's everything I have for this episode of The Money Wheel. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.